You were telling like, well, my prospect was doing nothing on and hanging on the couch, and then suddenly I started making records, albums, touring. Was that your prospect back then? Like
Prospects.
Were you a couch potato? Was that your ambition before the band?
Really? Was that the question?
What were your plans back then? Maybe that's a little.
That's a different way of putting it. Yeah. Plans. I didn't really have any plans. I was just a kid, and you know, what plans do you have when you're? I was trying to avoid working. I was trying to avoid going to school, like college. I didn't really want to, but I knew I would have had to if something else didn't, save me from that course in life. So, yeah, Leah, what were you up to?
I didn't have any plans.
Well, you went to school at least. More than I did.
But that was just to like postpone like reality. School can be pretty good for that. You know, you're not really you don't have to do anything. It's easy.
Yeah. Because when did you met the other two guys? Can you remember that?
Must have been around like, I don't know, 2006 or 7 or something. I don't know, around Baby 81. That's when I met them.
And
whichever year that was.
What is she bringing to the band since that moment? Can you describe that? As a musician?
She saved our ass, you know. We were at a really hard time with our old drummer, and we pretty much, the band was gonna cease to be. Me and Peter weren't that interested in, conceptualizing a project with drum machines and building songs in the studio, and we got into it to be a rock band, and we kind of wanted to stay a rock band, and at the same time, it was kind of a hope that was getting further and further away, because it's like asking for. In some ways, like asking for lightning to strike in the same place twice. You can find another drummer, but that doesn't, make you a good rock band. And so the fact that Leah, was pretty much the only person we knew at the time, well, bar none, there was no one else that we thought could actually do the job. In all the 10 years of touring or whatever, we were, well, a little less than that then. But we never seen a single person that thought could pull off, And what we do isn't that, like, in some ways not that complicated, but in other ways it's extremely complicated because it demands of certain sensibilities and certain, very specific sensibilities to not only the power that a drummer needs to have, but also the ability to kind of dance and move and have an understanding of kind of more jungle jungle Manchester beat rhythms that are more based in like dance music, and you don't find that in one drummer usually. You find one or the other, power slugging away American rock drummer style, or someone with soft hands that just barely taps the snare, and I hate all that shit. So I was, I knew Leah could go. I could see from watching her perform with Dead Combo when we toured with them that she had that diversity. What I didn't know if she had the sensibility to listen with 3 people in a room together, kind of trying to write and move together in the songwriting way, which is kind of like improvisation. So That was another thing that was kind of a very specific thing that needed to come. And that I did not know would come until we actually got in the studio or started working on Beat the Devil's Tattoo. And that's when I finally breathed a sigh of relief. So yeah, I guess that answers sort of the question.